I did want to ask you a little bit about this concept of patriotic education,
Mm,
which is, as a China scholar and someone who studies authoritarianism, this is something we see quite a lot in the authoritarian world. It carries different meanings in different places. This has been raised as a kind of antidote to critical race theory. And so, can you talk to us a little bit about, especially as someone who's teaching critical race theory, can you tell us a little bit about how you view patriotic education?
I taught a class last spring with a colleague called "This is Critical Race Theory." So, critical race theory is a complicated set of ideas that originated with law students and legal scholars to try to understand how racism could continue to be perpetuated even when its legal framework was not in place. So, in some ways, it's a question I take up in my book, Race for Profit, which is why is there still housing discrimination after the Fair Housing Act is passed? The critical race theorists are asking why is there still racial discrimination after the Civil Rights Revolution in the 1960s, which changes all of the laws and makes discrimination illegal. And so they point to the ways that you can have formal equality, but without kind of strict enforcement of the new laws, that it is still allowed to flourish, that there are ways in which racial discrimination is reinforced through cultural assumptions and not just the law. So it's a very tangled set of ideas that I think what the right's kind of quick and easy explanation was to say that, oh, these people just hate America and think that America is intrinsically evil and horrible, and that is why we should, be opposed to this critical race theory that is being taught from kindergarten up through college. Um, so there's that kind of demonization, but I think a couple of things become clear with the patriotic education is that it's not that the right is opposed to politics in education. Uh, they just want their own kind of political vision at the center of that. And that becomes apparent when you look at the materials that they offer as the truth of what American history is. The 1776 Commission summarizes a history of the United States from the founding up to the 1960s. And to me, one of the most interesting parts of it is what happens when you get to the Civil War. And so when you look at the 1776 Commission, there is a mention of the 13th Amendment because it's somewhat unavoidable. There is no mention of the 14th Amendment. There is a passing reference to the 15th Amendment, and the word Reconstruction is only used as an adjective, but not as a period of political contestation over what the future of the United States would be. And so that is a version of history that one can teach, but to say that that is the true version removed of any political inference is just a lie. And so it's all politics. All history is politics. There's a question of which politics you choose to emphasize, which politics you choose to reference. But the idea that there is some sort of history that exists in the universe that has no connection to politics is illusory. And that is part of the kind of delusion that is being promoted here.